oh, like, when I move in, like, bad things are just going to start happening because I'm living in an odd number. No, an even number. Right, anyway. Oh! Right, it's going to be noisy.
Go for it.
What is Frankie LG? It's brutal honesty. I think that's my fundamental thing in life in general, is having the guts to be honest and being able to put my truth, because I think truth is very subjective, putting that into music, because that's somehow easier to say through a song than in real life. It's fun, it's camp, it's over the top. Just a show, really. It's a show. Life's a cabaret. My influences, sort of 50s jazz crooners, 30s jazz crooners as well. But yeah, Sammy Davis Jr. is definitely, his whole persona, his whole shows, like, I don't know if you've ever seen like some of his shows where he's just like crazy. And he's bonkers, and he does all these bits, he does these impressions, he does comedy, he sings, he tap dances. It's like a whole thing. Frank Sinatra's a very big one as well. I mean, he is just the voice. Yeah, he really inspires me. Amy Winehouse, you know, she was like my soundtrack growing up. She was, yeah, one of the greatest. Yeah.
Came in, that's the first thing I heard, and I thought it was like the boiler had gone or something.
All of my patience, unlucky numbers don't go in order. I'll break them all on you. I like that one. I think a lot of my voice and my writing and yeah, the music I make, it's come from everything I've listened to. I'm never wanting to be like someone else. More than you could ever, but he couldn't pick a fight like you. Oh, yeah, okay. Ooh, what's Faucet about? It's basically like a lot of my songs about trying to get over someone, but you can't quite seem to get over them, and it's kind of trying to look for someone else, but they're not really comparing, and like, you know, like the way you and this person argued, even like that's not matching up to another person, you know, so like you wish you could find something better, but you can't at that point in time. I'm really inspired by, I mean, obviously clowns, have you seen my room? I find really odd connections with just random objects, things that really speak to me, and I look at them, and I wouldn't say I was like materialistic. I'm one of those people though, I bring so much unnecessary stuff with me, like a bit of Sinex micro mist. But I would say I'm materialistic in the way that I like to have things, not necessarily like riches, but but like, you know, I love my plants, you know, and I'll buy things that make me happy to look at and that inspire me. I get ideas, you know, I love jesters, and there's a whole, I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this right. There's like a style of comedy, it's a really old style of comedy called commedia dell'arte. It's when theatre started like cropping their masks so the actors could speak instead of just like physical comedy. Yeah, I'm just obsessed with like that aesthetic. I'm so obsessed with it. And it's a cast iron money box, like clown money box, and the thing is fucking freaky. Like it has like this thing. It's like this. It's like, and it goes. Yeah. Like that. The writing process. Well, me and Finn, we write like all the time together. We're never not writing. Finn just came up with this chord progression like dum 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 dum.
When we're doing, especially the stuff with Frankie, it's like the way I learned like jazz sort of chords and stuff was literally trial and error, being like oh, that's a D, oh, that's out tune actually. The way I learned was literally all by ear. Like I went from being like, that's a D major, and then be like, oh, if I move this finger here, it does that, that's nice. And then literally for like 4 years, I would keep discovering that sort of same thing over and over again in different places. Like weird and cool. Sort of put the pieces together without doing any, like making any effort to like find out theoretically. I'd always just sort of try and error it. And then once I got sort of confident with that, I could apply it in songwriting. And then when I met Frankie, it was like, okay, let's give this a go and see how it sounds in a song.
Alex, what are you doing in the studio today?
This is what I'm doing.
Yeah, I just started saying some words over it, and then yeah, we brought it to the band, and I was so particular, bless Tom, I was so particular about the drums. I was like, it has to have, it's got to be so specific, and it took us like a good like 5 rehearsals to get all the components like properly down.
The level of concentration it takes to not fall over. Yeah, sorry, there's like one squeaky floorboard. There's only one squeaky floorboard in here. For like 3 or 4 practices it sounded like shit because Tom didn't have the part down properly, which I'm sure you've been told. Frankie was specific.
Yeah, that was a bit shit.
It's just that fucks with me trying to write something because I don't know what the rhythm is. Then I can't come up with the rhythm for the bass part.
I think a lot of the time if I don't have a vision for it before I go into a setting with a band, it's not gonna work because I don't have an idea myself.
Yeah, I think the idea of like Faucet was to disrupt the set we play live, because I think a lot of the time, I mean, I go to live gigs and my pet peeve is when you go to a live gig and it just stays on this level, and I get bored, and I wanted, and Finn wanted as well, something that we could dance, us ourselves can dance to, but also make it interesting for the audience. And, you know, let them get their groove on.
Yeah, definitely add something to the set, like after like a certain amount of songs we play, once that's like next, it's like, oh, now there's real momentum there.
It's like, it doesn't go to that like bass part, like on the floor tom, it just sticks on that like snare and hi-hat. So it's like one big edge. Yeah, I definitely noticed a difference after it's played by the audience's reactions. It just has like this killer, like, you know, in Bonnie's bass, it has this killer thump.
Yeah, everything's sort of working quite in unison there with the drums.
Yeah.
Like everyone's, like the bass and the guitar, very conscious of being right on the same wavelength as Tom.
Yeah, I think we're good at that, like when we go into arranging our songs in the band, because I think, I mean, Finn's biggest thing is space. He's big on space, not up there. But
just emotionally as well.
yeah, just, you know, actually, like, this isn't enough. And I think a lot of the times when we arrange stuff in the set, it's, well, when we go to record and stuff, we want to be conscious of having this space to let a song breathe and not make it sound overly busy, and then when like you can bring the horns into it, you know, it doesn't make it sound really jumbled and muddled. It, you know, like the horns are acting as like a lead guitar would in a rock set, you know?
Every instrument has their place in that song.
Yeah, definitely. The reference track for the drum sound was Sing 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 by Benny Goodman, because it starts off with that dun, 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 and it's just fat. I mean, the mics we used to mic up that drum kit, like, I think we used something ridiculous like 13, 14 mics.
Did it?
Yeah. You could talk about the... That sounds like The Walking Dead.
Oh, sorry.
I could say I'm ready, but I don't wanna force it. Still trying to forget just water like a faucet.
It's got a lot of
Extreme Faucet
work,
now.
looking at that. Like,
Please.